Good morning, students. Today we are going to learn about urban changes during British rule. Urban history is rapidly expanding interdisciplinary field of research. The rate of urban growth in the 20th century has also stimulated interest in the city of an object of socio-historical inquiry. The study of offers of macro picture of urban process under British administration, giving an understanding how colonial capitalism shaped and imposed urban patterns in India. The impact of world capitalist economy, the pattern of urbanization under British rule, the contributions of railways urbanization, the volume of profile India's primitive cities identify the core and periphery of underdeveloped hinterlands. Now we are going to learn about ancient, medieval and modern periods. Urban changes during British rule. As British composed many already existing cities, these patterns of spatial separations by nationality and race were repeated. In some cities where British presence was extensive, very large areas of cantonment and civil lines were established alongside pre-existing Indian cities. New Delhi, Bangalore, and Secunderabad. In the capitals of India, large princely state regions that British left for the local rulers to administer, and the center of the region with numerous smaller princely states, the British built residency areas to headquarters their local administration and to garrisons their troops adjacent their existing native cities control extended across India in the 18th and 19th centuries. Medieval town during the British rule. During medieval times, most of the towns developed as headquarters of principalities and kingdoms. They functioned either fort city or port city. Important among them are Delhi, Hyderabad, Jaipur, Lucknow, Agra, and Nagpur. During medieval period, India had temple towns, administrative towns, commercial and port towns. Many towns combined multiple functions and they were administrative centers or temple towns as well as commercial or craft centers. It may be divided into two periods. The early medieval period, which lasted from 6th to 13th century, and the later medieval period, which lasted from 13th to 16th century, ending with the start of Mughal Empire in 1526. In the history of Europe, the Middle Ages or medieval period lasted from 5th to 15th century. It began with fall of Western Roman Empire and merged into Renaissance and the Age of Discovery. Ancient period during British rule. In ancient times, towns emerged in and around and residential places of kings and its locations easily accessible to seas and rivers for traders. Most of them developed administrative, religious, and cultural centers. Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, Varanasi, Allahabad, and ancient India was home to the world's first cities. These cities had stone building, multiple stories, and sewage systems. India was one of the very first civilization to use algebra and calculus. The number of zero was invented by the ancient India by a man named Aryabhatta. Madurai were well-known ancient cities. The period lasted from around 1500 BCE through 500 BCE. That is, from the early days of Aryan migration through to the age of Buddhas. The tribal society of the early Aryans gave way to the more complex society to the classic age of ancient India. Modern towns during British rule. With the arrival of Europeans brought about new changes in the development of towns. The first developed some coastal towns such as Surat, Daman, Goa and Pondicherry. The British, after consolidated their power in India, developed three main cities, Mumbai, Chennai, Kolkata, as the administrative headquarters and trading centers. With the extension of dominations and developed new towns depending its locations, purpose and resources. The newly developed towns are differently as hill towns, industrial towns, court towns, railway station towns, cantonment and administrative towns. The favorable atmosphere for the growth and development of the city, which helped these are follows: growth of population, suitable natural environment and geographical position, well communication, favorable trade and commerce place, growth of industries, religious places. The cause of security, political and administrative cause, landlord and landless labor, class and famine, etc. It is truly that the growth and development of the city started in ancient and medieval age but absolutely developed in the colonial period in India. Deindustrialization. In the beginning of 18th century, the policies of the British proved harmful to the process of urbanization. Later, the economic policies followed by the British led to the rapid transformation of India's economy into colony economy and developed cities. With the help of one-way free trade predominance of British, Indian manufacturing industries were destroyed. The effect of the wholesale destruction of the Indian manufacturing industries led to the ruin of millions artisans and craftsmen. There was sudden collapse of urban handicrafts industry which had for centuries made India's name in the market of entire civilized world. Two and cities long formed the specialized product gassed continually shrinking market as well. The shrinking of Surat, Lucknow and previous importance. The entire industrial structure crashed down under the stiff competition of imported goods. The traditional industrial based in Indian cities made by indigenous handicraft production was destroyed by the industrial revolution. The high import duties and other restrictions imposed on import of Indian goods into Britain and Europe led to the decline of Indian industries. Thus, India became an agricultural colony of Britain. Deindustrialization under British rule. The deindustrialization of India played an important role in the underdevelopment and increasing poverty of the country. The British led globalization of colonial India led to significant inflow of British cotton, which led to falling the input of domestically produced cotton due to low prices. Causes of deindustrialization: a consistent decline in employment in manufacturing due to social conditions that make such activity impossible. A shift from manufacturing to service sector of the economy. A trade deficit whose effects prelude of investment in manufacturing. Another disastrous effect of deindustrialization is underdevelopment. Unemployment caused deindustrialization result to social problems such as prostitution and poverty, crime, alcoholism, drug abuse, child trafficking, etc. Thank you, students.